Ladies and gentlemen, Satish Rajarathnam, illusionist, mentalist, and an HR professional. And for the next few minutes, I'm going to take you through the journey that I traversed and took some very critical decisions in my life, which are definitely not process-oriented, which was very haphazard, which is very impromptu if I were to, which helped me get here, all right? So I used to practice magic, the art of magic, the skill of magic, I would say. It's not a science, it's an art of magic, from a very early age. I did a few television shows. Those days, we didn't have reality shows. It used to be Doordarshan and a couple of other channels which were running through that. That is when the cable operators came on a picture and so on. So we didn't have such platforms to go ahead and showcase our talent. I was then thinking, corporate and magic, where do I swing through? Should I go behind my passion? Should I stay strong foot in my corporate where I earn a lot of money, right? And that is when I realized that I need to take a very courageous decision, that I need to quit my corporate job and move on to my passion and go behind it. I started pursuing magic as my full-time, as my breadwinner, if I were to, for many years then. Yeah? And if you ask me, what kind of skills, right? What is it that you practiced? I decided that any skill, if it were to be within me, right, it will be my own inherent skill. And I thought I need to do something that involves people and something that have people right at the center so that the reach is far better, right? If you guys want to know what that is, let's do a small experiment together, shall we? May I request you all to please stand up for a quick second? So this was the dream that I had then, a very big dream of penetrating human mind. In my world, I call as the hi-fi. It's not the Wi-Fi, but the hi-fi. How do I penetrate mind? Yeah, may I request you all to put your right hand forward? I'm doing a mirror so that I do a left hand. Everyone, except for the camera. Thank you. Your left hand forward, everyone. Okay, this is not a stretch exercise that you do once you enter your classroom, but then your palms facing outward. Yeah, your right hand goes on top of your left hand and club your fist as straight as possible so that it's locked in. You don't need to do that, that's fine. Just thought I'll demonstrate that. Make sure your right thumb is on top of your left thumb, guys, everyone. Yes, sir. Your right thumb on top of your left thumb, sir. Ma'am, the other right thumb. You have only one right thumb, I thought, no? All right, okay. So do as I do. As soon as you're locked in, do as I do. Now I want to penetrate into your mind, and this is what you're going to get, or you should be getting. The count of 3, 1, 2, and 3. Slowly turn, and unlock your hand. Come on, guys. Did you? Didn't you? No? No? Thank you so much. Please be seated. Let's try and decipher this phenomenon. I had to take a decision, right? Like I said, moving from corporate to those days, with the kind of upbringing that I had, moving into full-time magic and entertainment, if I were to, was a very difficult decision to make. And I had to take that decision, right? The first learning that I had in my life is be courageous. And when you're courageous, take audacious goals. Think about it. If I were to stand here and penetrate all your mind together, and that is the moonshot that I thought many years back. How do I do that? And that made me practice the skill of magic and mentalism, right? So the first lesson that I learned is go ahead, moonshot, which is shoot as much as possible. Don't think that it's a small goal, bigger goal, larger goal, and so on. Whatever that you wanted to, go with full throttle. And I had a moonshot of being a mentalist. I had a moonshot of penetrating mind and trying to learn the human behavior and what we call as the human mind loop. What is a mind loop? Behaviors get transformed into skills, which transforms into values, which transforms into culture, and then the being of us. And I wanted to try and see if I could make or add some value in people's life out there. Can I change their concern and make it more easier in the walk of life? Can I give this 10, 20 seconds of smile and happiness and wow with the people that I work with? And that is where I started taking that decision in my life. Well, yes, I took that. But then what next? Well, when that happened, I had to really, really go ahead and practice. And it's not that easy to say, hey, may I read your mind, please, for a few minutes? And they're going to say, what? How do you go ahead and break that barrier? For example, yeah, I want all of you to think of a number. Think of a number. To make it simpler, I don't want to get into algorithms, but think of a 2-digit number. Everyone, close your eyes, think of a 2-digit number. Done that? Sir, yourself too, the cameras, everybody. You did that? Okay. Do you think it's humanly possible to guess each one of your numbers that you're thinking? Yeah? So I'm going to take one example. It's usually the students and the front benchers. So I'm going to, sir, may I have your name, please? Subesh. Okay. Subesh, aapka man mein bhi you have a number, correct? Yeah? I want you to close your eyes. Subesh, can you step forward a little bit? I don't want the AC clouding your thought. Thank you. Yeah. Think of a number, right? You're thinking of number. You know? Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Aapka right hand thoda upar le lo. The other right hand. That's what happens, guys, when you penetrate too much. This is what we call as the hi-fi, human intelligence. You would have heard about artificial intelligence and so on. In my repertoire, I call this as hi-fi. And when I do the hi-fi, yep, you may open your eyes. Hath rakh lo, chalega, I think he slept, okay. All right. Do you have a number that has a 5 in it? 5 hai kya? Wow. Okay. All right. Or dusra number, it's a 2-digit number that I could think. Or dusra number hai 8. 8? Is that what it is? 58 is what you're thinking? Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for him. Thank you so much. Thank you. So that needed a lot of practice, years together of learning behaviors, psychology, and how do you kind of penetrate through people. So it is not just me trying to read, observe people and let you know what you're thinking. It can also be the other way around. I can penetrate. I'm sure most of you guys would have seen this movie called Inception. I can also do that, and we can do that as an experiment. But that needed a lot of practice, right? And that is why you need to be courageous enough to be committed to what you're doing. Because in this kind of industry, right, as an illusionist, as a magician, unless you have the repertoire of not being cracked on YouTube, and that is where you stand out, like this. Yeah? So the second learning that I had is, how committed am I? Has this commitment got me out here? Yes. How much should I commit? Well, I committed, I wouldn't want to say more than 100% because that's how much you have, but I committed 100% in kind of learning what I wanted to. That is towards the moonshot of being the best mentalist ever, right? So a lot of commitment went in, a lot of research, a lot of Maslow's, a lot of, psychologist learning that I went through in terms of how do we observe behaviors better, right? If someone says, please raise your right hand, if someone is raising a left hand, that gets to show that he's already nervous. How do you read behavior? In other sense, your neuro-linguistic programming, the NLPs, I'm sure most of you guys would have heard. In today's context, NLPs are different. It's natural language processing, which is a chatbot. I don't want to quote NLP, right? So let's do a very small experiment, right? In being here for about few minutes, and I think catching up with one or two, and the student community and all others who've been here, I'm going to ask you all to think of a shape. Everyone, go ahead, shoot out a shape. You think for yourself. So we've seen a first bencher. I'm always a backbencher, so I'm going to go to a backbencher, someone there. Ma'am, if you don't look at me, I'm going to call you. So everybody look at. May I have your name, please? Yes, ma'am, you. Sorry. Ayusha? Okay, Ayusha, I'm sure if you could step forward, please, thank you. I'm sure you are also thinking of some shape in some form or the other. How many of you guys have thought through geometric shapes? In any gathering, 58% of the population think of geometric shape. That's a research that I've done over my number of shows that I've done. right? Specifically, if you're a homemaker, I'm not saying you, but then if you're a homemaker, you would think of 2 hills, 3 trees, birds chirping, and you, along with your family, walking across. That's the human psyche, right? I'm letting some trade secrets out. But then with her, I'm finding it very difficult. I'm not sure if you were behind the camera. I was not able to read you through. But let me attempt what you're thinking through, right? You've been thinking of a shape too, right? Yeah. Stay constant, don't keep changing it. You've not changed it, right? You're staying constant, okay. For the first time, right, I'm going to attempt from a plain sheet of paper. I want you to stay put. Think of the shape that's running in your mind, yeah? I'm not a Picasso, but then I've attempted something that is running in your mind too, right? For the first time, would you want to turn to them and tell them, what shape were you thinking?
I was thinking of a star.
Oh my God. The first time. Well, if you thought that's my signature, no, I don't want to give my signature out. That is a souvenir for you. Thank you so much, Aisha. Human psychology, right? There are multiple trends that we can go on and on and on, yeah? When I say on and on and on, it is not just about moonshot. It is not about committing to what you wanted to do as a goal. It is not about just chunking your larger dream as a goal into smaller pieces, whether you can move step 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can achieve them thoroughly. But then the most important part is that you need to persist. The courage of persistent is very, very important, right? You would hit the peak, right? It's always the curve, right? You'll hit the peak, and then you think that, hey, you are the best. You're there, and suddenly you get to see a lot of others, right, who are doing far better than you. Yeah? So how do you kind of keep persisting what you're doing? Keep insisting that, you know what, I need to keep doing a little better. I need to keep doing a little better. Yeah? So that is another courageous decision that all of us need to take. And that's what I did. Right? In my 21 years of practicing magic and mentalism and illusions, and that is exactly what I'm doing. Year on year, when I get into a newer way of thinking, the thinking would differ. A learning from this forum is something that I would take away, and if I'm going to present it to another forum, this learning would immensely help me. Yeah? So that's the commitment that I kind of give out. Okay? So how do you persist? So when you persist, you need to do something different. You need to be on the peak always. You shouldn't be predictable, right? You shouldn't be complacent is the right word, right? You can't be complacent all through. You'll have to keep growing leaps and bounds so that for you to pick up always and be there and retain that, yes, you're there as a mentalist, as an illusionist that everybody could look forward to. What should you do? Kill your complacency. Kill your procrastination of, hey, let me do that later because I'm okay. I'm happy in doing what I'm doing. Yeah? And that is what kept me going. And that is what I learned from a lot of successful people around me. Year on year, over a period of time, they consistently keep peaking higher because of what they think and what they do, as always, to be there. Okay? How many of you guys are, except for the first row, how many of you guys are below 25 years? Wow. Okay, 25 to 28. That's a random sample that I can pick through. There are only 5 or 6 of you guys. Okay, guys, I'm going to swipe my hand. Please stop me anywhere. Would you want to do that? Yeah, go ahead. I can't call the camera guy because he's shooting that. Let me go slightly left. Sir, would you want to stand up, please? May I have your name? Suraj. Suraj, would you want to step forward? Let's do a very small experiment and try to let you know what will persistence and goal get you there. Suraj, please. Let's do something interesting. I want you to think of your first crush. Relax. I want you to close your eyes and think of your first crush name. I don't want you to spell that out. Just think of her name alone. Okay? You can close your eyes. Thank you. I don't want you to blush anymore. Okay? I am getting some signals. My hi-fi is not catching up. Would you want to put your right hand up, please? Put your right hand up. Stay there. Guys, that's my hi-fi, huh? He's jumping. Only the first crush, okay? Okay, I think I've gotten somewhere close. Okay, so we're going to do this simultaneously, right? I have a name as a first crush, right? Would you put your hand down? Can you open your eyes, please? Yeah? For the first time, guys, for the first time, I want you to spell out your first crush name, please. Manali. Louder?
Manali.
Is that Manali? Is that you? Is that her? Yeah? I have misread few people as well. The names have gone bizarre. The numbers could have gone bizarre. The shapes could have gone wacky all over. But those are the learning. Guys, when we say you need to moonshot, you need to segment your goals, you need to be committed to what you wanted to do in life. And when you persist and insist that, yes, this is what I wanted to do, but in the meanwhile, whatever ups and downs coming in, whatever failure that comes in, right, you should be able to stand up and say, this is my decision and I own this failure and this is my learning from such failure. And that's been the hard fact that I've ever had in all these years, right? In many, many shows that I've done, in many discussions that I've had, I've failed many a times as well. But those are the inputs that I take over, and those are something that I convert to a positive side, saying, okay, this is what I learned from last side, and I'm not going to repeat that again, right? So I'm going to leave you guys with a thought. Unless we feel that we're going to be defeated, we will always be successful. Right? Quote, unquote, I don't know who that was. Thank you so much. Thank you.